True democracy is citizen-led. Politics needs an update. We demand a people's house.
Starmer humiliated. Keir Starmer looked furious after public criticism and humiliation live on TV. Keir Starmer's recent televised interview has sparked a firestorm of criticism and online debate. The interview, characterised by pointed questioning from a journalist, left Starmer visibly uncomfortable and struggling to defend his party's policies and his own record. The incident has highlighted a growing disconnect between Starmer's public image and the concerns of many British citizens. The core of the criticism centres on Starmer's perceived broken promises. The journalist directly confronted Starmer with a list of pledges made during his 2019 leadership campaign, pledges related to economic justice, increased taxes for high earners, social justice, abolishing tuition fees and universal credit, and immigration, defending free movement and establishing a compassionate immigration system, all of which have since been abandoned or significantly altered. This stark contrast between campaign promises and current policy positions formed the basis of the journalist's scathing critique. The interview repeatedly pressed Starmer on the credibility gap, questioning why the public should trust any of his new policy proposals, 6 first steps, given his past broken promises. Starmer's attempts to defend his actions were met with further skepticism. His explanation regarding energy policy, for instance, promising a reduction in household bills by £400 through investment in clean British energy, was met with immediate pushback. The journalist countered that energy bills are already soaring, exceeding £1,700 per month for many households, and that Starmer's proposed solution is insufficient to address the current crisis. The interview pointed out that the energy price cap, while initially helpful, has not prevented significant increases, directly contradicting Starmer's claim of a permanent drop in bills. The interview also highlighted internal divisions within the Labour Party. The journalist brought up the controversy surrounding the cancellation of the winter fuel payment, a policy decision that has angered many Labour MPs and sparked accusations of a lack of party unity. This internal conflict directly undermined Starmer's claims of a unified party dedicated to the interests of the UK. The journalist effectively used this internal dissent to further discredit Starmer's leadership and the credibility of his policy proposals. Beyond energy and social welfare, the interview also touched upon immigration. Starmer's criticism of the government's Rwanda refugee relocation plan was countered with the argument that a more open-minded approach might yield better results. The journalist also pointed out the lack of concrete evidence for the existence of safe and legal routes for migration that Starmer repeatedly advocates for, highlighting the disconnect between rhetoric and reality. The signing of a new costly agreement for the next 8 years, amounting to £521 million, was also cited as an example of inconsistent policymaking. The interview concluded with a sense of unresolved tension. Starmer's responses, often evasive and lacking in concrete detail, failed to adequately address the journalist's pointed criticisms. His attempts to deflect the questions and shift the focus to the government's failings only served to further expose the inconsistencies in his own record and policy proposals. The interview has left many questioning Starmer's leadership and the credibility of the Labour Party's platform, leaving a lasting impression of a leader struggling to connect with the concerns of the British public and defend his policy choices. The incident has fueled online discussions and raised serious questions about Starmer's ability to lead the country effectively.